Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today I'm doing a special edition reading dedicated to the full moon in Sagittarius. I know I was supposed to publish it earlier, but this is the perfect timing. So as I'm recording this, and I'll get it out right away, it's about an hour left till the peak of the full moon in Sag. Wherever you are in the world, there will be that time. It's either the 3rd or the 4th. For majority of listeners, I guess it will be the 4th of June. I've spoken about this full moon for a bit already. The key items that I'm going to repeat before I get into the actual read for the twins is that Sagittarius here is a very much optimistic and ambitious energy. It's about going straight for goals. If you imagine the Sag was like shooting the arrow, like the symbol of the zodiac sign. And it's like going for the sky, going for the big goals. And Sag sometimes naively, but still really believes that those are accessible, that dreams can come true. You know, so as long as you're keeping it in that healthy vibe as like, yes, I believe that I deserve it. It's mine, basically. It's already mine. If we add an additional layer of Jupiter in Taurus, we can also say that this continues to be big time for calling in your abundance, calling in whatever you feel makes you feel good in your skin, but from the material world. It doesn't have to be money or clothing or an expensive car per se, but whatever it is, let's say that money can buy or that can be built in the material world, that's what is being amplified right now, and you have a big opportunity to call in those things. However, as opposed to the new moon, the full moon is more about seeing clearly the picture, and it's almost like clearing out the rest of the stuff there. It reminded me actually about a context of crystal mining, which I just went to in Nevada. And that is when you spot, like you already see like the symptoms, the criteria for the crystal, that, you know, there's supposed to be a crystal somewhere around, like in the mine itself, right? Like as you're digging into it. That's like it's like a light at the end of the tunnel. It's like your clue. It's like okay, I'm on the right track. And then you start clearing things out carefully but methodically from all the directions, because it could be anywhere, you know. And it's a similar way. It's like you are being shown this direction, right? Or confirmation that you're going in the right direction, right? So that then you can roll up your sleeves and get going into that direction, right? So you can do maybe the dirty job, the hard job, but clear out your path, right? That's the full moon story, pretty much. It's also helping you move forward with those things that you've manifested in the first 5 months of the year. So yes, if you remember what you've been manifesting, if you have a manifesting journal, even better. If you don't, I'm sure you will remember the highlights of what was happening and what you wished for in your life. So this is the time where you will be shown how to get there. Pay close attention, listen carefully, do more of your of your meditation practice, of your praying practice, of whichever rituals you have where you can get into like a wider, more expanded consciousness to see things, or just basically focus more on I always mention this: people, events, and feelings, right, in your daily life, right? Why are they there? What they mean? What does it tell you, right? All of those things are clues to a certain extent, and this time is especially amplified with that regards. Another great news, so you can see it's beyond Lemuria deck in my hand. I actually moved into an apartment. This is my initial setup, and you can see a backdrop here, so you probably already guessed that. I will find a good, like more permanent place to do my setups For now, it's kind of like a little random because I'm still trying some things out and I'm still unpacking. But I managed to find most of my decks. They were packed in 2 places. I found one of them and it felt great. It felt like I found the treasure. So I am gonna be using, they're not new decks, but different decks than what I've been using between January and June, because I can. So I thought that for the full moon reading, it will be great to get some guidance from the Lemuria deck, from the ancestors, you know, with Lemurian wisdom. So let's get a card for Divine Feminines first of all, to see what are we supposed to know for this full moon in Sag. Now we're gonna get a reading about more the context of twin flames and what's happening in the journey during this time. Okay, I got 3 cards, but I'm gonna pick them all up. Crown chakra, the unlimited self. Yes, like I was saying just now about meditation, prayer, and whatever else ways or rituals you have to up on your connection with source, to get that guidance, to get those insights. Mostly about the direction. Yeah, that's the big theme of this full moon. The next one is awakened awareness. Wow, look at that. Yes. For a lot of people, it actually will be a push to awakening. And I mean just like everyone in this case. For those who are awakened, like if you are watching this video, you probably are. This is like that next level of awareness, you know, like when you thought you already have everything figured out and laid out nicely into compartments, and then it's like woof, and there's a completely new piece of information that gets you to reconsider and to see new layers of meaning in events that happen to you, in connections that you have in your life, and even in a specific connection with your DM. And last but not least here, sorry, I don't have a table laid out yet, so we'll have to be doing ups and downs with the cards. She of the Lotus. Oh wow, I don't think I've ever gotten this card in a reading, so I'm gonna get the book and read it for you, especially because it's She the Lotus and we are pulling this card for Divine Feminine. Okay, let's see. Number 43. Of course it's 43. Going deep into the spiritual. Shadow work, addressing dissonance, seeing downfalls as the flip side of superpowers, loving yourself back to wholeness, the beautiful lotus that grows from murky waters, disempowering triggers, bringing light into your dark corners. Originally, the title for this oracle deck was going to be The Language of Light. It was not actualized in that incarnation, as other layers of meaning needed to be honored. The fuller spectrum I was guided to bring through also included the shadow. In hindsight, choosing to deepen the message of balance that the Lemurians were bringing forth through this work meant I had to experience my shadow. And then there is a bit of a story here. Let's read the divinatory meaning. Oh, it also says here, a true light bringer shines light in all the corners so shadows can be acknowledged and released. And first and foremost, it goes for our own story. I see so many people, and I've seen so many more of them this year when I was in Hawaii, who claim to be light workers in some shape or form, but they still are pretty ignorant of their own shadow. Or maybe they are aware, but it looks like they're not really taking much action in dealing with it. And it's baffling to me how those things align, right? Because we are supposed to be that cleansed vessel to share the light. That first of all, we are that source of light. With our presence, we're already sharing it with the world. We're already helping people heal, helping people see, help people get inspired. Right? And that's like the first and like primary way of being a light worker in the world, right? And then the next one is like actual sessions with people, conversations, spiritual work, rituals, whatsoever. But it's just as important for those things to be that cleansed vessel. Take a look at any unconscious patterns that may be running you. Are there elements of yourself you need to take out of the trash, dust off, and reabsorb? Shadows can be painful or tender to touch. Sensitivity is an area can be a trigger that shows us where we might want to spring clean some of our darker, forgotten, ignored, or hidden corners. Accepting our shadows is the first stage in restoring ourselves to wholeness, in self-love. Yeah, ISF calls it honoring your parts, all of your loving your parts. Peel back the layers where there's shame, guilt, or fear and bring them into the daylight. Under a loving and compassionate light, they will resolve and reassimilate so you can re-engage with your superpowers. Resolve and re-assimilate. Beautiful. Love this. Okay, this was a message for Divine Feminines. It's getting pretty long, but I promise I will not, well, I can't say I'll speed up because those are the messages that are coming through and they're supposed to get through, but I don't want this reading to be overly long. So I have a couple of tarot decks with me. So after we're done with the Oracle card, I want to see, with the usual format, what are the opportunities and what are the obstacles or challenges or blockers for the twins during this full moon. What is being shown, what to pay attention to. For those of you who may not be as confident in doing this work for yourself, this is going to be that extra piece of information for yourself. Oh, wow. Alignment. This is what divine masculines have gotten. So it's stepping into this kind of alignment. Look at all the chakra points. This is beautiful. This is part of the cleansing that is happening for divine masculine, specifically on the energetic level. So what I'm getting is they've been clearing out or solving a lot of karmic patterns through the last few cycles, not even one, but few cycles. And now it's important to kind of to connect that karma with this with the energy centers, so that they can benefit on the energetic level. So that I was just reading about those healed aspects that reassimilate, right? So that those pieces could be put back together. Like if you actually imagine them as pieces, maybe pieces of a puzzle that get rotten or just disappear altogether, and then when we do the work and we can then realign them and put those pieces back in to come back to wholeness. That's what that article was talking about. So to me, this is also very relevant. So those areas where there's been some healing or at least some learning, those can be re-patterned and put back into place for this wholeness and for alignment, higher alignment. Okay. I'll be using the Thelema deck for the main read. So let's see what are the opportunities for divine feminines during this full moon in Sagittarius. Woo! It's kind of a lot, but I'll take it. Divine feminines get a lot of cards today, full stop. So, wow, King of Cups. This is the divine masculine energy, actually. There is a possibility of seeing, let me get the rest of the card, Death in reverse, the Hierophant, and Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. So this is like this rebirth that is happening for divine masculines. That's what I'm seeing. And that's why like the big opportunities for DFs to see them in a new light. And it doesn't necessarily require, for those of you questioning, like, I'm not even in communication with my DM, how am I going to see that, right? Or maybe we're far away from each other, so we don't really see that much of each other anyway, right? One way or another. This doesn't even require communication. You'll be able to feel through it. You'll know. This is about that telepathic level, especially when it comes to emotion, especially when it comes to feeling this different wave of wholeness and emotional availability. Like we say that people sometimes are emotionally unavailable. So this is the opposite. This is them turning into more emotionally available individual. What else do I want to say? Yeah, so this is the opportunity actually for divine feminines to continue with their journey, as they will get this as a confirmation that of progress on the twin journey, progress of that twin, that there are, again, I was talking about the light at the end of the tunnel. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, right? There is hope, there is an opportunity, there is a possibility to reach that happiness with your DM, whoever it is that you are considering as your DM at the moment. The other aspect of it is directly connected with mission, and there is a big opportunity to clear out self-image obstacles, right? Let me rephrase it in a more positive way, to rebrand yourself so that you can you can reach a wider audience, or that your audience starts paying more attention, right? Like create a bigger impact with what you're doing. And this is not just going to be for like one day or 1 week, like I'm going to try this, this different thing and it's going to be great for me, and then a week later I'll do something else. No, this is something big with the Seven of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Actually, this is like you getting your voice, you learning to walk the walk in terms of those big dreams that Sagittarius energy is bringing in, right? Like those are not feeling too big anymore. Those feel like, yeah, they are accessible. Of course I can do that. Of course I'm gonna get there. And this is, again, seeing the direction how. Okay, this was the feminine. Now let's see what we get for divine masculines. Five of Wands. Oh, there's something else here. No, maybe not. Let's clarify. Okay. Ooh, it's Six of Wands, progression. So what caught my eye immediately in this Five of Wands card is this one that's going up. So divine masculines are able to see out of the karmic noise, maybe some mess that they have to deal with, what kind of inspiration they're getting, what kind of new brilliant ideas they're getting of how they can enhance their life and get into this success as they see it, right? So five would still be like other people meddling in and either trying to get their piece of the pie, or at least trying to meddle in and say what they feel like you should be doing. This is like the personal success. This is more like, yes, I mean, it isn't public, but it's how I see it, right? It's first of all me celebrating it. So this is moving from here to here, but actually with the help of that, those karmic situations that have happened in the recent cycles, right? Like integrating those lessons and seeing how they can lead you to success, right? It's seeing the glass half full, but even more so taking it to the next level and actually using that information, that knowledge, for whatever it is that you're seeing as your success. I'm getting for a lot it will be success with certain things that they haven't had success for a while. Like if you wanted to move to a bigger place and there were always circumstances why you couldn't, or I don't know, you wanted to add something new to your business and somehow the time was never right, or like the people wouldn't agree with you on something, or like you never could reach that point of success. This is about actually reaching the point of success. And I'm actually really happy that those are the ones, because they are the fire energy, and this is full moon in Sag, which is fire energy, right? And I actually mentioned that before I get to challenges. I mentioned that whatever the element is of the full moon or the new moon, you can use it to enhance whatever rituals, whatever practices you're willing to bring in. So in this case, It's very useful to be working with fire. I mean, obviously make sure that it's safe. But yeah, if you feel like writing something down, something that you want to release and burning it, this is the time. Do it right now. And by the way, if you're watching this video like the next day or even a couple of days later, is still relevant, because the full moon energy lasts for a couple more days after its peak time. Okay, so let's get some cards for the feminines on what are the blockers at this time. The obstacles, the challenges. Let's say the challenges. So we're about to remove blockers, so it's more around what could be a challenge during this time, just to be aware. I'm actually getting a message from Spirit. I'm not getting cards for this. Yes, as soon as I thought about it, I got the cards. The question, I'm gonna ask a different question from what the Spirit is guiding me to do, and the new question is going to be, what action should the twin be taking towards union at this time? Okay, let's see. I got Ace of Cups and Page of Swords in reverse, and I've got Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so it might sound a little frou-frou, but do not get too hung up on communication of the love or, you know, the official status of your relationship, right? Like, there's more about easing into it. And yes, I know that I've mentioned it a lot of times, but this is about focusing on what you're doing right now and what your path is like. Especially because this is that point, this full moon is that point that's showing you direction. So it's really, really important not to miss that. And while you are daydreaming about your DM or how they told you they love you or they haven't, oh my gosh, or they're with someone else right now, or they're putting me in a friend zone, while you're doing all of that, it will slip past you. Those important messages, those important thoughts. So right now, the best thing you can do to get closer to union is to actually not focus on it as much. Right? Like, it doesn't mean forget about it, because it's hard to do that anyway, but don't get hung up on it. Whatever, and I'm sure by now you have your ways of not getting too fixated on what's happening with the twin or between you two, right? That's the time. If you need to log out from your social networks where you may be checking up on them, or where you can chat and get upset somehow, right? Log out of those. But stay on point, stay on target with those messages of direction. What do we have for the masculines? What is the action that should be taken that will take them closer to union? Okay, too many cards. I'll keep shuffling. All the decks that I picked up so very different in size and in material, so they all take different skill to shuffle. Okay, we got Three of Wands and Ace of Wands, more wands, and look at that, 3 + 1 gives 4, which is union, right? But this is the reminder that it still takes, and this DM is on the journey, look at that. They are supposed to be, and again, this is that quiet time, that waiting time for getting the sense of what this wand, where this wand is taking them, where their fire, inner fire, where their inspiration is taking them. So Divine Masculines watching, again, for you, it's important to not rush things, not get ahead of yourself, but let it flow naturally. Let it come to you. Let what you want you, you know? And yeah, there isn't much here about love relationship or relationship at all, right? But this is an emphasis that right now it's your time. There's only one person here for the 2 cards, you know? This is your time, and it's very important to focus on yourself. So if you're not getting as much communication from your DF, or you're just being called up to deal with other things at this point, just know that that's done for a reason. so that you don't get fixated on the DF or what's going on there, right? You can focus on your dreams and on bringing them forward, taking them forward, and understanding what is the next step, to follow the passion, not what is expected of you, or not what you feel is good by your divine feminine or your karmic partner or friends and family or whoever else. This is what is the right action by you yourself. Okay, I think I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I will be back with more readings very, very soon, and with monthly June horoscopes as well on my other channel. Love you all.